What's going on, PTG Nation? Thank you guys so much for tuning in and rocking with us. This episode, we have an absolute banger. We have Kyle Spicka of, we don't know a team yet, but maybe we talk about it in the show. Maybe we allude to it. Maybe we drop the actual news. I don't know. We'll see. Without further ado, we're going to hop in the show.
This episode of the Play the Game podcast is brought to you by LoneWolfPaintball.com. And when it comes to paintball, Lone Wolf is the name you can trust. They have been in the game since the very beginning as Michigan's premier field and supplier since 1987, and Lone Wolf has built a legacy of excellence, passion, and service that runs deep in the game. From their top-tier customer service to same-day shipping on all orders, Lone Wolf makes sure that you are locked and loaded with your new gear fast. No waiting around, no hassle, just the best brands in paintball delivered straight to your door. They've got it all. Markers, loaders, tanks, apparel, accessories, and more from all of your favorite brands. And whether you're just getting started in the game or gearing up for your next big event, LoneWolfPaintball.com has everything you need. Be sure to check out their YouTube channel at Lone Wolf Paintball and follow them on Instagram at LoneWolfPB to stay up to date on all the latest gear, exclusive sales, and community content. At Play the Game Podcast, we are incredibly grateful for Lone Wolf's continued support, and we cannot wait for you to become a part of their growing community. Head on over to LoneWolfPaintball.com right now and gear up with the best in the game.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys, though. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
What's going on, folks? Good to see you. Welcome back to PTG. We're excited to run this episode number 306, and we cannot say thank you enough to everybody that continues to tune in, week out, as the PTG saga continues. Today, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Kyle Spicka himself, fresh out of the AC Diesel camp and on the hunt for a new home. So I'm sure we'll dive into some of that. You've also been coaching extremely well in the WCPPL, brought home some hardware at the last one, and co-hosting, obviously, Spick Span. If you have not already, tune into the show. Our sister company that we acquired recently, we want to make sure that they're doing great. Actually, in the process of buying some new mics for them as well, so we'll have those sent over shortly. Yeah, dude, we are so excited to have you here. How's it going, Kyle? What's going on?
Good. Just getting back after that long 4-day marathon grind of WCPPL.
Sheesh, I know.
Still navigating to all this, the free agency team stuff, a lot of coaching, working on Tigerware stuff.
Yeah.
And life.
Dude, yeah, you're going full torque for paintball, and that's what we need everybody in the industry doing. You know, you're creative, you care about the league, you care about paintball, also building new and up-and-coming talent, which I want to talk to you about as well, because West Coast is a hub spot right now for some hungry talent in paintball, which is really cool to see. There's so many great hub spots around the country that are thriving right now. March was just in the Northeast out in Boston for Team USA, and they're dominant, nasty players out there just, crushing it.
Missed summer camp so much. He had to go out there and just
I actually knew that I was going to be in Boston like the week after, so it was strategically planned, you know.
So you're like, just leave the cot. Just leave the cot.
Leave the cot. Leave things up. We'll be there. Yeah, we were, celebrating some summer camp. No, I love going to Boston. I love that field. Anthony and Lori have an amazing facility. I like Boston in general. I just enjoy being out there. Being out there with the Team USA crew was awesome, and the teams were, man, they played really good. The women's team, the U16, U19, the veterans team was out there as well. This is the first time we've had a full veterans line that was out there practicing.
Nice.
Yeah. One of these times we need to get the men's team out there too, because we really should get together and practice together. I think it makes a big difference. You know, these other countries, they are practicing together, like GB, it's all the Lucky 15 players. So they're, getting a lot of reps on the layout together. So I think it'd be wise for us to do the same. But no, it was a fantastic weekend. Looking forward to getting out to France.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's coming up soon.
I cut you off there, Tyler. Sorry.
No, I want to talk about the vets. Shout some vets out. Who's going to be on the squad? March?
Ryan Podesta was out there. Corey Field. Corey Field is still so nasty.
Dude, naughty dogs. Let's fucking go.
He's so nasty. Multiple times, because at the Boston field, on field 1 where you have the tower above.
Yeah.
We're up in the tower just watching multiple like insane shots. Corey, he went up to the center 51 game. His loader was down. He's down like almost the whole point. And the kids are like, advancing. They're getting to the other 50-yard line and they don't know where he's at. He has his loader in pieces, finally gets it all back together. Here's where the other guys are, comes up over the top and just one balls one of the kids in the face. It's like, oh my Lord, how'd you do that? But like all weekend he was putting insane shots on people. And I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, he played with the Vets and played really well. But Greenspan will be on that team. Yeah. Ryan Podesta, Corey Field, Thomas Mantoni, Greenspan, he did make it by the hair of his chinny chin. Yep. Just made it.
Good for him.
Just made it. Really happy for him. Yep. And Thomas Mantoni was out there. OG legend. If you guys don't know who Thomas Mantoni is, he super iconic, one of the Northeast ballers. He actually was on Aftermath for some time as well.
Super gritty.
Oh yeah. And he still got it. He was playing really well. Who else is on the team? I think Todd Adamson's on the team. They picked up Greg, and I always butcher his last name, but he played on Seattle Thunder for a while. Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt his last name, but they have a good squad. So yeah, looking forward to seeing, what they can do out there.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
The whole gang is going for the 3-peat. So the kids, the U16 and U19 are going for the 4-peat, and then the full sweep, the women's, the Vets, the men's, U16 and U19 is going for a 3-peat sweep. So not going to be easy. These other countries are very hungry and all the games are always very close. So even though it seems dominant, it's not as dominant as it sounds. And it's going to be very difficult, but I know everybody's excited. And I think we have a really good grasp of the field, how it's going to play and all that.
There we go.
Good luck to everybody. I actually just did Nick and I did the breakdown of that field. And as I was like going through it, like halfway through, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be really fast. Cause there's just like so many different, like every single channel, like the snake and then the center snake channel and then the center Dorito channel and the outside all is like powerful in its own way.
Yeah. It's going to be fun
so fast. Yeah. And especially with 2 pods, you just like, there's a bunch of spots that you can go to slow the field down, but you have to be actively shooting your gun. And if you're not actively shooting your gun, people can get through the gap. So with that, with 2 pods, you can't sit there and just actively shoot your gun. All the points were incredibly fast.
That shot, I mean, I don't know if this is a secret, but where you come off the box on the Dorito, behind the Dorito side tower and shoot paint, like right in, is that going to hit a snake guy? Or like maybe a second snake guy? Yeah. It would.
You could shoot the snake runner. You could shoot the can on the Dorito side. You can shoot all the spots.
Oh, you can?
Okay. You can shoot all the spots. The only spot that's really safe is the can on the snake side. So you could shoot the Dorito runner.
Nice.
Yeah, from like multiple different spots too. It's one of the more dynamic fields I've seen in a while. It actually looks really fun. I'm excited to play on it.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, the 2 pods adds an interesting dynamic on field layouts, especially like that, where you can hold it for a little bit, but once you get through that pod and you're like, oh, I got 1 pod left, people are going to start moving, getting through the cuts.
Yeah, we had some of the kids, like multiple times, one of the U19 kids took their pod and threw it at a bunker to like try to trick them. And then it didn't even work. Like because on Sunday, Anthony always invites teams. So there was,
I don't need this.
Yeah. And like the guy that he did the trick to he was like, that was a pod. Nice try, Squid. He was like making fun of him. I'm like, okay, so
I needed paint.
It didn't work. It didn't work. And now you don't have paint. What are you doing? I was like, guys, don't ever throw a full pod when we only have 2 pods. Like, just don't do it.
Fill it up with some sand or something.
Don't do it. Throw an empty pod,
Damn. Can you bring a sand pod out there? Like, let's say we only have, 2 pods with paint. Can we bring a couple sand pods?
Dude, that's a good question, actually. That's actually a really good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see why you couldn't.
Because if they go to limited paint, you best believe I'm carrying sand on the back.
just tell Trozen and Tom, like, hey, I'm trying to work on my fitness
agility.
So I'm bringing. We're only since we only carry 2 pods. I'm carrying 2 extra sand pods. Is that fine?
Yeah.
And then it'll just you throw it.
They're gonna be calling me the Sandman. I'm gonna be running around out there. Oh man, that's great. Yeah, we're figuring that out immediately. So Kyle, let's talk about Dub C, man. You just had a great showing out there. I know you didn't get the result you wanted, made it into the finals. So how did the event go? How's everybody looking? What's your take on Dub C and just the talent pool that we got going on the West Coast?
So I coach 2 organizations. One, which is the TJ Bastards and Premier. And then I coach the Lords organization, which is a D4 and D5 team. And both are doing really well. I mean, the last event we had with TJ Bastards, we didn't do too well. We kind of like just had a bad prelims, and I think it was hotter at that event than this event. And a couple guys just weren't prepared for that, and I just think that we weren't playing the field right. But this event, the guys were dominating, playing super gritty. We had Jesse Stevens come out. He does sit with us. The previous one was, the first one was Joe Barrett, and last one was Damian Vasquez, who the heat got a little bit to him on the second event.
It was hot,
but Jesse crushed it, and we had like, I didn't even know this was possible in WCPPL. We had one 14-point game match.
Damn.
It was 8-6 against the Vegas Brawlers, which was who like dominated us in the first event in the finals. So I think that was our second match. Everyone felt really good. We had like a learning lesson from Stoned Assassins, which is a game I think we should win. And then carried it all the way up. And then Collision, just like their preparation and all the drills and work that Mike has them do on the outside, like definitely showed, because they were just crispy, played perfect, no mistakes, didn't give us like anything to capitalize on, and just played a really dominant finals. But I'm still extremely happy with the performance, because like I keep trying to talk to our guys about it. I'm like, dude, if you guys just care a little bit more, like I'm doing all the masterminding, I'll get you guys here. But like, that's why Collision beat us, because they're doing all the like, all the
details,
all the drills.
They look really good right now. Yeah. I mean, Mike has them dialed in, and actually one of the kids that plays on that team, Evan Middleton, is one of the Team USA. He's the captain of the U16 team, and he also has earned a spot on the U19 team. I think he's 15 or he's turning 16 this year. But he's just a stud. Like all of those kids are really, really good. And even David Ramirez, I actually hold him in a really high regard. I think he knows the game very well. Like his time with Aftermath, I feel like he was a big reason that they were having so much success. I would listen to just the things he would say in the pit about strategy and how to play in different situations. And I was always like impressed, and just David definitely gets it. He understands it. And obviously Mike does too. So I'm not surprised. They've won 2 in a row now, right? Because they won the last one as well.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, no, they definitely look sharp. I thought you guys looked really good too. Cause I was obviously watching the Brawlers game against you guys, since, Ben, Colton, Alex play on that team, definitely close with the Brawler guys. And I was like, damn, Kyle, I felt like you coached on a near perfect game. Like you had them doing so many different things that were unpredictable. And after the match, I told the Brawlers, I was like, guys, you guys are just really predictable. Like you guys did the same thing kind of over and over. And it's tough, because that's actually what won them the first event. They didn't change. I was just going to bring that up. Yeah. Like they didn't change too much. It was just working for them. But that's the thing, when that's your style, when that's your brand, I think you are less likely to win more, because you have to wait for the perfect field. You have to wait for the perfect opportunity. You have to wait for everything to, all the stars to align for your style to work. Whereas if you can be, really diverse, then you can win on any layout, And I feel like, that first event that they won, I was surprised that they did, but they were just playing so well, and what they were doing was working. But if what you're doing isn't working, you need to be able to change it. You have to be able to throw in some, different stuff. In that match, I thought you coached really well. Just wanted to let you know that, because it was like, it was definitely masterful. You were definitely capitalizing on a lot of different stuff. And it would almost be like they'd be talking about something in the pit of what you guys just did and make an adjustment, and then you would hit them somewhere else, and it was, it was one of those times where I was like, man, I wish I was coaching this match actually. Cause it'd be a good battle. It'd be a good battle.
Yeah. We always do. Like obviously too, we had that That was what was the first game of prelims for Lords, coaching against you with protocol. I mean, you guys did get some unlucky penalties that kind of gave us a little leverage to kind of get back in that game, but that was also another one that was kind of a little battle there.
Totally. Yeah, dude, I was shaking my head, man. I was traumatized because the first event that I coached them, we were in our first match and we were up 1-0. And then I put a player in who I hadn't really built much of a relationship with yet. It was very new. Like the team was really new. And he was the last player alive in a 1-on-2. And I remember thinking, only because it was D5, if it was Premier or players that were used to coaching, like I would never, this thought wouldn't even cross my mind. But because it was D5 and it was a newer player, I was like, I should just blow the buzzer. But we were up 1-0, you know, and it's a 1-on-2. I'm like, I'm not going to blow the buzzer. You never know. But I was like, I should blow the buzzer because if he gets a penalty, it's going to put us in a bad spot. And sure enough, he like gets bunkered, spins around, does a 580, shoots the guy, gets a major. So we lose that point and then had to start the next point down 3-on-5. So you lose 2 points back to back on it. And now you're like playing catch up in the match and we lost that match. And I was just like traumatized because in your guys' match, Rory did the same thing. And Rory's like a veteran, but he got that major at the end of one of the points. And then we had to start down. I'm like, no, what are we doing? The funniest thing too is Rory came into the pit and he's like, who got the penalty? I'm like, you did, bro. You did. Damn it, Rory. You did. He also pulled his hamstring that match. So he was really going for it. I know he was super bummed. We were bummed because Rory's a stud.
He is.
He still has it. He still has it. And I'm really excited to be able to work with him because I think he's just going to get better and better. He did continue to play. I just used him sparingly and kind of kept him in the back center when he was on the field as like a voice.
Funny story about Rory. I took my family to the beach in Southern California and we're looking for a parking spot. And out of the window jumps out this guy. He's like, hey, screaming at me. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? It was Rory. I was like, Rory.
Wait, where were you at?
Funny.
I was where was I? By like Laguna, somewhere down in there. And it was just hilarious. We were looking for a little spot to chill out on the beach. And then there was Rory. And this was when he wasn't involved in paintball. So I don't know, like it was just serendipitous. We saw each other. And then right after that, he started getting into paintball and we see more of Rory. So super glad that he's back in the game. Like you said, March, extremely talented and Aftermath OG alumni, which is cool to see back.
Oh man, Rory was the leader back in the day, like when me and Mouse were on the team as kids, Rory was like the big brother captain kind of guy. You look to Rory for leadership. I brought this up to him too. I remember like something that always stuck with me was what he did to clean his equipment. He was like, I don't know. We must have shown up one weekend and had like a dirty gun or something. And he got really mad at us. And he's like, God, kids, you guys need to grow up. You need to set aside a day. It's like every Thursday at 5 p.m. I don't care what else is going on. Every Thursday at 5 p.m. I set aside 2 hours to clean all of my gear. I take my gun apart, I clean it, and I get it ready for the weekend. And like
it sounds like Rodney also.
No, Rodney does that Monday through Friday. Rory does it just one day a week. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see him back in the game. It's been really cool to hang out with him and reconnect with Rory because he was just always such a great human. Absolutely love that guy. Yeah. And Derek Janish as well. He's playing with us too. He's one of the OG Aftermath guys. So it's awesome to have him on the squad. Yeah, it's been really cool to have those guys, back, excited to play. They're like, super in love with the game again, trying to get better and practicing a lot. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they're out at Wednesday night, balling, having fun. Derek's out there with Mr. H, having a good time. Kyle, I want to talk to you about also you were helping with coaching Diesel when you're on the squad. What is, in your opinion, the biggest difference between coaching divisional teams and pro teams and managing those types of situations? It's a tough one because, in the pro circuit, it's obviously razor's edge competition up there.
Well, so I was always like geared up and for the most part, like ready to play. And so I think just having that, even though if I knew like most likely, like, when I was because no matter what, like every event I was playing to some extent, and then I would maybe go like, hey, what, let me just help coach. I think this is where we need to be. So I think just having that a little bit in the back of my head doesn't allow me to fully like immerse myself into that, to like compare the two, to have like full reins. Because again, too, like I'm coaching with Mark in a lot of those situations. But one thing that I think, and you guys can probably attest to this, is like I don't know if this is like it's harder, I think, sometimes in divisionals, because like people in pro, they know the shots, and most likely, like if it's like a middle percentage like break shot, that's different. But if you're like, hey, well, we're gonna set this guy up and you just continue shooting this way, like that's like blocked, like no one's blocked. But when you're coaching divisionals, and it's it's dicier as you
there's tiers down. As you go lower down,
you're like I D5, like 2 people need to shoot this lane, because one person, if they just start like looking at the sky or like looking inside their loader to see why it's not working or something like that, it's not going to be covered. So I think that like you can organize things a little bit more like that. But
that makes sense.
I mean, I think what's harder in pro is like you can like, God, the deception in pro is like another level. Like you think you have like it all figured out, and to be honest, I think that like there a lot, most teams too, still at least half the league are pretty predictable about what they're going to do. So, but there are teams that really like will surprise you. I mean, like I think that's reason too. And Marcelo, we were talking about this the other day, like why Dynasty continues to succeed through all the rebuilds is because like some of the stuff that they do and the way that they set up the game plans is pretty masterful.
Absolutely.
I think it's a lot of philosophy as far as how to play midpoint with them. Like, again, they're just willing to make moves, and so they're willing to get out of it. And that's kind of something that we had cultivated over a long period of time. And, the team has had a ton of success doing it. And it's also like this forgiveness. If you do attempt to make a move and it doesn't work, like no one's really going to breathe down your neck. So it kind of encourages you to explore those things. And I think that especially in today's game, with the way the fields are, to where moves are absolutely rewarded, because you can't really, there's hardly ever these massive zones that you can control. It's a lot of little gaps. You got to be willing to make the moves. You really do. You got to be willing to make the moves. And if it doesn't work, then you just go and do it again. Like what I've really realized is it's hard for, no matter who you are, it's hard to stop somebody over and over and over and over and over and over. Like you could stop them 2 or 3 times. Can you stop them 8 times? Because if you can't, then it's 5-3. It's like, it's a numbers game. And the more that you punch, usually the more success you have. Obviously, there's a fine line with that. Like Red Legion has found a little bit more of the balance lately, but before they were all punch, and it was kind of, I felt like it was easier to stop them. As long as your lanes are dialed in, again, kind of predictable, that you're going to have a body or 2 to shoot off the break. And then if you can control the secondary moves, you're going to have success. But yeah, it's, I think it's rewarded, and they definitely, you're going to get in trouble for not making a move on that team. You're never going to get in trouble for making a move, even if it doesn't work. So yeah, I think there's something to that for sure. I see a lot of teams, and I actually spoke to all of the Team USA kids about this weekend, because they would get shot and then come up and say, what could I have done better? I'm like, well, of course. Okay, look, you got shot, but it doesn't actually mean you made a mistake. It really doesn't.
Totally.
You made the right decision and you lost a gunfight. It is what it is. The only time I will ever be upset as a coach is if you don't play the situation correctly. The score and the clock pretty much tell you what to do at all times, right? There were a few points against the Vets where one was in overtime. We had a 5-on-4 situation, and one of our players decided to make a really insane move that I don't think they realized how much they were trying to bite off. And he got shot, and it made it a 4-on-4 and kind of shifted the momentum, because he was also like our outside leverage, and I was like, there's no reason to do that. It was a 54, like we had advantages all over the field. We did not have to make a desperate move, right? So that is a mistake. That's an actionable mistake that we have to fix. Another match against the Vets, we were up a point in the match. And again, we were also up a body, and there was like 50 seconds left. It was a 4-on-3. And our corner player decided to launch and make a big move, like almost to the 50, and got shot. And then that side collapsed. And so they tied it up. We went into overtime and lost. And I'm like, that's a mistake. I'm upset about this. But if it's a 2-2 game and we break out and it's 5-on-5 and you try to make a move and it doesn't work, you were trying to earn an advantage. I'm okay with that. It's part of the game. Like, chalk it up. All of us here, with however many championships, all of us have combined, we have been shot so many times on the field. We've made so many mistakes on the field. Again, some of it is just part of the game. So I care more about, the situation. Did you play the situation correctly or not? And I think a lot of coaches are so critical of, you got shot, so that's a mistake.
Yeah.
And they'll do this like retroactive coaching where you're playing the tape. This point, you get shot down the tape. I'm like, why are you playing the tape? You need to be playing inside. Then the next point, you're playing inside, and the other team makes a big move down the tape because you're not on it. And they're like, why weren't you watching the tape? They made a big move because you weren't watching the tape. Like, well, the point before, I thought I was supposed to look inside. The retroactive kind of coaching is not what you should be striving to do. You could kind of nitpick and play Monday morning quarterback in every single point. And so I was trying to really drive that point home to the kids of like, you're gonna lose gunfights. You're gonna get shot. It's okay. As long as you understand the situations. You can't make those mistakes by, because you're playing the situation wrong. But if you're trying to earn an advantage in an appropriate time, it's all good. But yeah, a lot of these coaches, and even in pro, they're so critical of players getting shot that it like discourages them from wanting to make a mistake. You don't want to make a mistake because then you're going to get sat. You're going to get yelled at. You're not going to play. And that's not, to me, that's not winning culture. That is not a winning
Agreed.
culture. So I think it's so important to, especially to the young kids. Cause again, there's a lot of bad coaches out there. Actually there's very few really good coaches is what I've learned. I agree. Like I've had multiple teams. They're like, hey, can you help us find a coach? And I'm like, there aren't many, if you have been able to work with a really, high level mind in the game. And I do think in the next 10 years, that's going to shift. There's going to be a lot more high level coaches that, are players that have, really become students of the game and fall in love with that process. But right now, especially in the divisional ranks, there's not many good coaches out there. It's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
So they're encouraging these bad habits, and they're reinforcing this negativity and not helping players actually grow.
I totally agree. I mean, I'll jump to this because it's kind of relevant to the question you guys just asked. Like, one thing that I brought up at this last event within the Diesel organization, because we know there was the field was everyone on the field is pretty much in the same position, both teams. And a lot of times it was those two Aztecs playing diagonal, and there was a fight at the beginning. And what's funny is on our layout practice, nobody really played us across a lot. And I was like, this is going to be, how the last two fields was the snake can or Aztec battling for control and then finding your timing to get into the snake. But that was essentially the same thing, but diagonal with those two Aztecs on this last field. And we didn't see it a lot in layout practice, but I was like, this is going to be it because it's the only person that can see really that gap of them crossing into your side of the 50. Yeah. And as the tournament developed and we're there, I kept bringing up the conversation of well, what is our Dorito Aztecs player and our front snake guy? What are their risk thresholds to engage in gunfights? Let's all agree upon this. And I was getting a little pushback there of I think that it didn't quite make sense to everyone. It's kind of well, just win the gunfight and stay alive and then time your move. And I'm because to me, and I always tell this to the teams that I'm coaching, it's once you find your game plan that you think that you are doing correctly, if it's not super intricate, the other teams are going to just match it and do. So what's next? And so I was saying all right, we can survive for sure. 100% we can survive, but let's talk about what that gives the other team. If we just if we give that up and let them, where are we going to like trap them somewhere else? Or are we okay with trying to win the gunfight, but maybe 2 out of 4 of those points, we're going to lose that body. And then what do we do when we lose that body? Like, how do we repair that? And that I felt like kind of we didn't get too far with that conversation. Those are things where it's like, I think those are important conversations, especially on a field like that, where it gets kind of locked up. So let's talk about like the intricate things about the lockup, when everything is kind of getting like canceled out on that layout. But
you have to, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. And there's a bunch of like, there's a macro fight. We spoke with a guest, I can't remember who it was recently, about how closely paintball is related to boxing, or like, an actual fight. You gotta throw the right combination of punches. And in the macro, that's what's going on from the coaching standpoint. You have a high mind that is coaching and sees the big picture and throwing the punches how they see necessary to offset the opponent, open up chambers of movement, opportunities to win. And it's a really high level chess match when you get great coaches. Like, we've all battled it out, coaching teams, and been a part of camps and all this kind of stuff. It's really fun. And for the high level players, you guys all know how entertaining it is to be a part of it, because it's like this really electric feeling when you feel like you're on the cusp of outsmarting your opponent. And then in the micro, you have these gunfights that are going on out in the field where each individual player is in their own fight, but you have to make sure that everybody sees the big picture that's out there. And that is something that obviously the pros do a pretty damn good job of seeing the big picture. And if you can start to like unpack that and really chew on those ideas as a divisional player, you're not only going to become a better player, but you'll understand more of the reasoning why your coach does certain things and be a really good teammate for the organization. When you get everybody clicking like that, that's when the dubs start rolling through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to watch, man. It's fun to be a part of, and it's fun to watch.
No, 100%. Ty, I know the question was asked to Kyle, but I would like to just kind of touch on that, because it did make me think of my situation with protocol. Your question was, what's the difference between coaching a pro team and maybe a divisional team? And I think obviously you just get to do more and more and more, the better your players are, right? You have more tools in your belt. And a good example, a funny example, is with protocol. When I first coached them at the first event, usually I have a lot of audibles and reads and things on the start gate where it's like, we set a play, but then I see something, I'm yelling 22, and it's like, okay, go around the corner, or 22, whatever it is, right? And I didn't have any, because I was like, I don't want to confuse them, and that's a very real thing. Like, you don't want to confuse. Some players aren't ready to absorb that. And actually, Dan had brought it up. He's like, hey, like, I hear all these other coaches yelling stuff. Like, do you not do that? Can we have codes? And I'm like, brother, yes, I do. And we can. And now that we have like some of the players that we picked up, we absolutely can start implementing some of this stuff. But the last, the event before, we definitely could not. And we were able to implement like a few things, but it is funny. That is how it goes. As you work your way up through the ranks, players are able to absorb and digest more and more information, so you can have more of a imprint. Now, I think pro is a whole nother thing, and it depends on what kind of pro team though too. Like, if you have a newer pro team that is with younger players, I think it's very similar to how we would coach divisional players. But if you have a team, with a stacked roster of a bunch of experienced vets that have all won, it's probably more managing, personalities and relationships, and really learning what makes each individual play their absolute best paintball. How can you get the absolute best out of each individual? And then also, you should know their strengths on the field better than they do, because that's going to allow you to put them in the right spot. A lot of, coaches, I think, kind of miss that and don't realize that, the snake side on one field might be a completely different pace than the snake side on another field. And so your snake guy might not be the one that's best suited for that spot because of that, and so these things are, these are the things that coaches should be really aware of, understanding their players' strengths and weaknesses, especially if you have like a stacked team. I think that's one of the most important things.
There was Defy just put out this pretty cool video that Dylan filmed of it. Like came over when I was coaching on one of our matches, and so I was like, this is something I have like kind of kept secret. It's not really secret, but it's in there. But I've noticed like I'll sometimes tell my guys in those like lower divisions, actually even up to like semi-pro, I'm like, it's typically like a wide out. I'm like, run and shoot slow, but make all your shots count to a spot that's like usually highly dangerous to go to, but run and shoot slow. I don't care if you get shot. And I'm like, before they got there, I'm like, you're probably going to get shot, but it's okay. I want you to make sure that you take people with you and just find, you're going to look in this area, this area, this area. And if you see a body in any of those 3 areas, I want you to make sure you shoot them. And most times they shoot someone and they make it out to the spot. Usually like corners, whether it's like we're up a lot of points or we need to get points. But it's funny how that works. Like when you give the player that like, oh, okay, they feel just like a pressure come off of them of like, oh, well, he's not going to be worried if I get shot. And somehow that like engages something else in their brain to like, shit, I'm going to go
get freedom. Yeah. Fear. You're like removing the fear from their own subconscious by doing that, by letting them know, or even preparing them that they're not going to make it, but it still is conducive to the game plan, you know?
Yeah.
And then that you make it and they're in bonus territory and they're like, oh, this is great.
Or you're like, hey, you 4 guys, like this play, we're going to like, this is going to be our risk. And if he makes the spot, he's also getting like free range to go, like try to take 2 bodies. So I just need you 4. If you start to engage in a gunfight, just give it up for a second. I just need you 4 to be alive. And he's either going to get 2 bodies and make it really easy for you, or you'll play paintball with 4 on 5 if the worst case scenario. And I think that also helps them like reduce decision making. I don't know, to like I like what you said too, Marcelo, about it's like what the coaches these days also just need to understand that like you cannot play perfect. Like no person I don't think has ever went through an entire tournament, unless you're a pro team playing D5, like that you haven't got shot once the entire tournament. Maybe when we went to Colombia that one time, Marcelo.
Yeah,
but we did lose 1 point. So whoever wasn't playing that 1 point, they might have. But
I'm pretty sure I wasn't playing that point.
Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe you didn't. Maybe
I feel like I remember that being one of the events where I was like, I didn't get shot the whole event.
But paintballs are fucking flying everywhere. Bounce shots, like hundreds close by, coming over. Like to get so upset about someone over like 1 point is wild to me, because it's like that's not how the like physics the game of paintball works. Like you have to be in the game, you have to be in the fight, and part of getting shot is part of it. So like
again, the only time I will is there's certain situations where you just can't make certain paintball moves, you know, whether it's a mover and gunfight. There's certain situations where it's black and white. Otherwise, there's a lot of gray area on like how to play and get yourself, you know, create an advantage for your team. But there's certain situations where if you make a mistake in that one because it's a bad decision, that's the type of stuff that you want to be upset over and really stress the importance of improving that, you know? But yeah,
like Kerrigan played 1 point in the finals and he didn't touch the box because he was like looking at something, and then it was like 1, and he didn't even bring his gun back. He just started and he got pulled, obviously. And I'm like, dude, we're in the finals. It's like, you just need to make sure you do that. Like, and then also too, like, I'm like on my computer at WC, like in the tent, looking at like guns up and doing stats and watching everything. And I'm like, hey, when you guys, as you go over there, I'll be over there 10 minutes before. Make sure you don't let them start the game early. We don't have to start till our time. And then I'm like, someone runs back and like, they're starting it. The other teams already have 1 point. And I'm like, dude, I literally said it before. Those are things too where I'm like, lose my shit. Or like, but I realized, go ahead.
Our guys would freak out quite a bit too, because they'd be like trying to start the game early. And I try to make sure we get paint at the last minute, because you don't want paint, you know, baking in the sun and all that. I'm like, guys, calm down. Like, look, the refs want to be ahead of schedule, so we understand that. So we'll be as quick as we can. but they can't start us before our actual time. So
Yeah.
calm down. And I'd ask the head ref, hey, I know you guys want to get this started. We, the game is not scheduled for another 15 minutes. We have like 7 minutes, we'll be ready. And then every time it's like, yeah, it's okay. That is what you're allowed. It's not, yeah, it's okay. It's like, you cannot start the game early.
And it really crushed me. I think maybe I was talking to you about it, Marcelo. There's a team in D4. They have a pretty funny name, but the Hammercocks.
God, yeah.
And they have like a 7 foot. They got like Yao Ming out there, and he just goes straight up the middle every point.
Yeah.
And he's always on the bright side of the back center.
I think he used to play for the Silly Bananas too, which is is hilarious. Yeah. You go from the Silly Bananas to the Hammercocks.
Yeah, it's just all ridiculous. But I'm like I'm watching them play, and I'm like doing stats. I'm like, oh, this will be easy. Like, I'll just put 3 guns on this guy if that's what it needs to be. And then all of a sudden, like 12 minutes before the start time, I get a call from AJ, the owner, and he's like, they already started the match. I'm like, what? And by the time I run over there, we're down 2. Like, we didn't have one of the guys. Like, we just had to rush. And then when I get over there, we just instantly shoot the guy like 2 times off the break, tie it up, but didn't have enough time. And like, I think they won another point because we made an error. But like that, I was pissed about. But also like, kind of on me too. Maybe I need to do that a little bit faster, and then not wait 10 minutes to come over there. But yeah, those are
it's a tough one.
I get upset about.
So they started the game early? That's crazy.
12 minutes early.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah.
Hey, it's hot and long days out there, man. They want to get true. like I'm all for being ahead of schedule. It's just like make sure both teams.
Just tell me before, like after a game, if we play in an hour, like, hey, we're gonna play in 45. I'm like, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coach. I mean, the coach has to be there. The coach has to be there in order for the team to have success. But yeah, the Dub Cs have been amazing. The tournaments are just massive, huge turnouts. Lots of people having fun, enjoying themselves. PTG will be back with the booth for the last event. Couldn't make it, obviously. Had the ESPN event was on the same weekend, so we'll be back with the booth at the last one there. But let's just get into it.
Tyler.
Thank you, brother. That was a fun one. That was a fun one.
A little bit.
Well, it'll fix up on the hopefully on the cleanup.
Yeah, there it goes. Now it's good.
Kyle, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, brother. You've hit the paintball version of Tinder. Let's just say, okay, you're in free agency. All right.
What? So that's crazy.
That's a new one.
That's crazy.
Does that mean I didn't know I was searching through W and Excel.
Ty should have stayed buffering.
So how is the swiping?
Who are you swiping on?
Yeah, how's the swiping going?
Man.
Do you have an arsenal of phones that are rolling right now that you're swiping through?
An arsenal of teams to choose from?
Yeah,
maybe?
What's going on?
I've kind of narrowed it down.
Come on, dude. We heard already. Break the news.
Yeah. Well, but I think the news is going to be probably tomorrow.
Of course. But understandably.
Well, as owners of that show, I think we can approve a pre-release. A pre-release. I think it's in our arsenal. I think we have those capabilities in our arsenal.
Maybe
plans of attack.
I when does the show come out too?
Tomorrow. Bro. Yeah, just spit it. Let the facts rip.
We're still working out a little bit of like
details.
A little details, but I think I've narrowed it in. But that's also just for the team as well.
Of course,
because I think they need to work out some things. So it's more so for them too, not for me.
Kyle, what's been the most exciting part and like your experience with obviously the last few weeks and few months, man? They haven't been the easiest. And I know you love the camp. You fought tirelessly next to everyone on Diesel. So yeah, kind of give us your thoughts on that.
All right. So do we want to talk? I guess I can talk about the Diesel, like the separation from Diesel first, and then we could kind of talk like my mindset going into like search for teams. But dude, it was really weird. I don't think I've like experienced this. So it was a lot of processing, like way more processing time than any other decision I've had to make. Just because of like, I don't know. I forgot exactly what it was, but I said Marcelo had reached out actually, and he said something really good, which was like, he's like, "How you doing?" And I was like, "I'm doing all right. Nothing wild, good or bad." And he's like, "I'm just checking in on you. Like, actually, like, what's your mental like?" And I was like, "Oh, well, thank you." And then in short, I kind of was like, "This is like." I was like trying to figure out, I was like, had a really difficult Rubik's Cube and I was trying to figure it out. And then all of a sudden, like it was taken away from me. And like in my mind, I was starting to think like maybe it's unsolvable, but I think that it was solvable, but it was just taken away from me. So I was left kind of in limbo of like, well, fuck, was that unsolvable or was it, and that was like probably the hardest part. Cause I'm like, dude, I'd be like, and maybe that's, part of my ego too, being like, dude, like we were right there, with World Cup, like getting third. And then, we played you guys too in Tampa, and that could have went either way,
Yeah.
And so we're like right there. And then I felt like it just started kind of going south quick. And
But why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know.
Yeah. Well, it is a tough Rubik's Cube, man. It's so many different personalities and layers too. There's, aside from just the people, there's also all these different layers on the back end that are going on. And it is a difficult Rubik's Cube to put together the right energy. And I kind of wanted to hit on that, like when we were talking about coaching, because half of the battle also is that vibrato, that like, that gusto that an entity rolls in with, and you have to make sure that it is peaking when you go in, and that it's a juggling act, and it's like you said, it's a puzzle to put together. But you cannot say that the organization wasn't always poised to win, because you had some of the best talent in the world, and were always some of the grittiest games that we saw whenever you guys had matches, so it is tough, and I can only imagine how tough that was, to not kind of get that closure as well, like you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. This wasn't like the first time I guess going back, like the first season with the team, I played really well. I played a lot. And I mean, if you even go back and look at.
Welcome to PTG World, the ultimate paintball community where the game never stops and the vibes are always elite. Inside our Discord chat, you'll find nonstop action in rooms like the Players Chat, Gear Talk, PB Fashion, News, the Media Gang channel, and the exclusive Guest Questions channel, where you get to ask our weekly podcast guests anything you want to be answered live on the PTG show. But it does not stop there. We also host monthly Goat Squad live hangouts for our GOAT tier members, packed with giveaways, laughs, and nonstop behind-the-scenes shenanigans. It is a full hour of community fire with the most amazing people who are locked in every day for the love of the game. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned pro, PTG World is your front row seat to the pulse of paintball. Click the orange Patreon link at ptgpodcast.com and join the party. Once again, that is ptgpodcast.com. Click the orange link and we will see you in the chat.
I know they're kind of, well, these aren't really bullshit, but like the player stats was just based, it wasn't on kills or anything. It was based on time on the field and percentage. And I had the highest percentage out of everyone on the team for 2023. But what I started to realize is that our guidance wasn't great. So I think that there was some confusion, and I've said this before, and I think there's confusion not just within the team, but also like in our community. that like I just don't want to play anymore. And that's not the case. It's just that I know that everyone within the organization, and most, I won't say all, but a large chunk, a majority of like everyone is like fairly fundamentally equally as good in the pro level, all the pros.
Yeah.
It's just also, but if the guidance isn't there, then the mid game and the closure and thinking ahead and the adjustments, that's all not going to be there. So it can only go so far. In the way that the fields are designed, no matter what, like every game plan that you do, there's a counter to win against that game plan.
Hot take. I don't
Yeah.
agree that everyone is about the same fundamentally. I think if you were to put cones up and do target shooting with time, it would be the same. So, okay, so maybe we can get into like technicalities here. I think then you would be correct, but actually gunfighting, I think there's absolutely separation in tiers of gunfighters.
For sure. Well, okay, let's just say there's a take the 20% elite and then like the middle of the pack, and then there's a bottom like 15-20% that's like definitely like needs improvement. But everyone, I guess, and I can make it specific, like the reason I started taking time back from playing to help everyone else is because like I'm like, okay, well, if I'm on the field, it doesn't matter like if I'm playing a perfect game, there's still a lot of pieces that are not like in the right. The macro is not being handled correctly. So let me step back to help us get there. And what you saw, like, I don't know, World Cup is a great example. Like of I played and I was doing like a blind zone, but I knew that I taught it to the other people and taught everyone else. And I could be there watching the game and then reading and being able to plan out the next 2 points going forward. But if I'm playing, we might not necessarily have that. But I think that there was like confusion there. And that was like, you know, something that I'm pleading for in my case, that like what's the goal here? Like, do you just want me to play, or is the goal to win? So I want to win, and I know how to win, and I like right now. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Like I'll fill pods if that's what it needs to happen. But like, so that was kind of like I think there was maybe a little bit of like friction there because I do want to play. So
let me just say something real quick. It comes from a place of care. That's why you made that choice, because you thoroughly care about the entity that you're a part of, and you're thinking outside of the box. I know you, Kyle. I know how much you love paintball. I know how good of a paintball player you are as well. And I think that the coaching actually, I'm excited for you to just be a paintball player again. I'm really excited for that because I know you're going to thrive. You have gave everything to the sport and to the organization you're playing with. And I'm really excited to see this next chapter of you putting all the chips in the basket of just being the best paintball player when you hit that field. Obviously, I know you're going to help whatever team you need to help catch fire and, get it lit up and get things done on the field. That's a given. You're going to go above and beyond to give your insights.
It's going to be a revolutionary second act.
Yes. Now we're getting into
Kyle,
it.
question for you. What would be your perfect situation then moving forward? Would it be to go somewhere where you can just focus on playing, or do you want a role where you can, influence strategy? I guess we all kind of want that, but still the question stands, where you can influence strategy, or would you prefer, like, what if somebody offered to pay you more to coach than they would to play?
I'd take it.
Okay.
Like some people even I guess like to be honest about this, and I'm also gonna flex here a little bit. Like I think that I'm in the top 3 or top 5 best coaches in the entire world, and I hold you to the same standard, Marcelo. Like I feel like that's why I really like when I get to play against you, because like feel like you're at that level and or higher, and you like make me strive to be better. And it's weird. It's like, man, when I'm playing too, I've gotten to this point where I'm like, man, like, can you help me? Like, I help other players. Like, Marcelo, come coach me. Like, I need you, come coach me, please.
Yeah.
And I just like want to upload this information to the, whoever is calling this stuff and collaborate on it, and then like help me, give me the tools to go execute my best shit. But like, yeah, it's tough right now, because I also think that playing at a high level also helps you be a really good coach, because you're in it. You like, the flow of the game, the current like meta of what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I read like one of those comments on my like NXL's like free agent post, and it was like, go help leverage. And I was like, dude, one of those like bottom teams, if they would have reached out and they'd have been like, hey, we'll give you this amount of money to come help us bring us to the top. Like, I think that I'm like full confidence in my coaching ability that I could get leverage to a Sunday. That's
well,
like, even with their performance.
It would depend on their ability to commit. That's the thing. Because I think I would feel the same way, but there would have to be, okay, we need X amount of weekends. We need this amount of buy-in. You can't be missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference. If you just have them showing up,
to some extent, but again, this is my ego talking. TJ Bastards, these guys are late. They just show up to practice whenever they want. And
yeah, but so is everybody in the Premier Division. Yeah, it's like very few teams, maybe outside of Collision. In the pro scene, it's a little different. Like, do you think that you could take leverage? Like, do you think that strategy alone, calling plays alone, would be able to get that team to a deep Sunday run?
I didn't say that. I said
okay,
out of prelims.
Okay.
I think that my layers in my entry level of thinking and preparation that I do, when I'm coaching the team and thinking about all the factors and the important factors, I think that I have a huge advantage on everyone else. I mean, obviously that's hearsay, because I don't know. I don't go out.
You also have to have like Marcella said, these guys have to sign the contract. Do you know what I'm saying? They got to sign up. And if we have half the guys that aren't signed up, I don't know that. Yeah, you might make one Sunday in a season, maybe a couple, but we're not making deep runs into championships if you have to have everybody sign the contract.
To be fair, though, I missed it. But you said to get out of prelims. I mean, that's definitely much more reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have confidence in yourself with a coach that you could go to leverage and help them.
I think that my strength as a coach is what I'm able to teach. Well, I do think that I do a good job with game plans and strategy and finding things to pick on and putting players in the right spot. But really, what I enjoy and what I think helps teams the most is how to play the game. And that's all kind of done in practice. So I need players that are committed, so that they can work on these things over and over and over. I mean, dude, it's all encompassing. Like, when you're talking about being one of the best coaches, which I appreciate the kind words, Kyle, but for me personally, until we do it in the pro division, I don't think it's fair to put us in that conversation. Although, yes, my ego tells me similar things at times, but it's not fair and has not been earned yet.
Yes, that's fair.
But it's the process in practice is where I see some of the most growth with the players, different drills that I structure to set up and work on deficiencies based on what we did in the previous tournament, et cetera. That's the kind of stuff that I really think myself as a coach brings to the table. And I'm sure yourself as well. And Tyler as well. So it is all encompassing, like I do think if like the players on leverage, the players themselves, the talent that they have, and the skills that they have, if if like money wasn't an issue and we could get them to practice all the time, I'm like, yeah, I think we could eventually get this team to be a deep Sunday team. You know, if I had like 2 years, right? That's always the thing, is like you need 2 years with them. I would say, yeah, I think that's possible.
And
but
building
again,
the culture,
it's like you said, it's hearsay.
Yeah,
it's building the culture. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is all part of it, right? All of this falls under the umbrella of the culture. So
that's and I know you probably feel the same way, March. That is the most fun part, is watching the culture of a team shift, and the eyes just look different. They approach things different. Their ears are listening a little bit differently, you know, and you watch the wheels really start to turn. And when everybody signs up, that's really fun to be a part of as a coach and a player. And then once again, it goes back to that energy, right? The energy is, I'm not going to say it's the most important, because it's not the most important. There's so many other things, but it's damn near the most important, is that energy, that confidence that you bring in when you know you're doing the work, when you know we've done all the necessary things in order to build that culture like we're talking about. And I can't wait. We're getting old, and I'm looking at 40. It's not far away. We have such a talented pool of players that are coming up in the game, and it's cool to see such a hungry group. And once again, shout out to USA. Let's go. Everybody going out to Europe. Let's bring it home. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to that for sure. But
I guess the second part too, I don't know if that answered all your questions, but like looking for after the separation from Diesel and then looking for teams, did we cover enough with the...
Yeah, what's one of the biggest lessons that you took from your time with Diesel, you know, as you moved into free agency? Swipe. That's production value. You see that? Shit.
I'm gonna like note back to like something too Marcelo said to me after that. He's like, well, we asked for the unsolvable Rubik's cubes. And I was like, fuck yeah, we do. Because if we find the solvable easy Rubik's cubes all the time, then we're gonna be bored. So switch on, like, I guess that also like maybe be like, damn, all right, well, I need to process and analyze this. So like a lot of was just appreciating the difficult parts about it as just growth and building blocks and learning that I think I don't know if it's going to be immediate, but it's going to help me at some point in the future by understanding how looking and back at this whole situation and how to navigate it within myself and what I can do better. And then also like what to like maybe not put as much time into, like just be able to navigate it better is the best word. But when that went into everyone's like, why haven't you decided on a team? Why haven't you decided on a team? I wanted to be careful with it because like I want a culture again was a big was a really important part of my decision. And honestly, like I have a good thing with Tigerware, but it doesn't get as much love as it needs. Like I could take this way farther, but I'm also trying to balance, you know, doing a podcast such as you guys, as yourselves, coaching, playing.
We pay you guys enough, right? We pay you guys enough.
Not quite. I mean,
not
if you
quite.
want to give us a raise, that'd be good.
Maybe we might be able to afford one of you.
Yeah. And so, you know, like I talked to a couple teams, like I talked to a lot of teams, but some of the more like when I was narrowing it down, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I like this, sounds good, offer sounds good, but have you talked about this with your team? Like, have you, or did you ask your team if they want me to come? Like, I appreciate that you want me to come, but like, I want to make sure that all the guys want me to come. I mean, Marcelo, you understand? You just
100%.
Same situation.
That was a huge part of my process, you know, and I was very transparent about that because culture is so very important, you know, and so can't just be the owner, it can't just be the coach. It needs to be the entire group, you know?
Yeah. And like money wasn't like really, I mean, a bigger offer has been something that's been really important to me in the past. This time and like the rest of the season wasn't so much. It was like, what's required? What do the players think? Are they excited? Like, and where, like, what's my role in the team? And like, I want to talk to the coach on the phone before we even get any farther. And so I did that with teams that I talked to, just to like make sure that like,
was it like
able?
Did you have to call a Baltimore area code?
I don't know what. No, actually, I didn't.
Maybe
I didn't.
Oh,
No, Opie's. Yeah, where's Opie live?
Opie lives over here by me.
Yeah.
How about a plus 33? Like the France country code? Or is it plus 52 Mexico?
Who knows? There's a lot of digits.
Oh, this is fun.
But yeah, I don't know. That was because too, like, especially coming in the middle of the season this late, like, dude, I'm not trying to like come in and ruin shit or like mess with anybody else's season. I want like, I fucking know a lot about the game, and I think that I can be helping. I'm not overbearing. Like, I won't. But if you guys are going to tell me this wall is black, I'm going to tell you it's white. I don't care how much you pay me. I'm going to, like, if you give me $100,000, it's going to be too hard for me to agree with that this wall is black. And that's kind of like where, I'm like,
could argue that colors aren't even real and it's just the light.
So that's the type of arguing that I'm down for. Let's debate it like that.
Break it down all the way. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
Yo, Kyle, I did not see this. Has been crazy. The fact that you had to pivot, is pretty wild. But also, I'm very excited for these new storylines because Diesel's going to be hungrier than ever. Obviously, you're going to be hungrier than ever. It adds more fire to the arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think
maybe that is. Go ahead. Sorry.
I do think actually, and it's strange to say when you lose multiple like top level players such as yourself and Mouse and Silos also stepped away. He's been playing at a high level as well.
Yeah,
but sure. I texted Mark and like Mark has actually been really good to me in the last couple months as well. Diesel was a team I was considering, and I texted him and kind of let him know honestly, and I mean this genuinely. I kind of think the team might be better off. It's like
yeah. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm like, you can kind of build from within now. The fit model has obviously proven to be successful. They play all the time. The team has had success in the past. I think they had a pretty deep Sunday run when Grayson was on the team. And so they have really gritty, good, talented players. Like, I think it, doesn't have to be all bad. Like, I don't think they have to be in a worse situation and now you have to be in a worse situation. I think it's like, could be a breakup where it's like, hey, this is what's better for both of us. And let's just go and find new great situations. It doesn't have to be ugly.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I agree. And I think it will is like maybe a little bit less, egos or people that have
sometimes things just don't work. It's that simple. Sometimes things just don't work, and it's like, I think as humans, we actually are really afraid of ending things on a good note, which is so crazy. You see this in relationships all the time. Like you know that you shouldn't be in the relationship, but you don't really have a reason to like actually break up. So you look for something and you want to end things through a fight. Because that's the only way that you could justify it to yourself so that you can actually move on. But really, strength comes from being able to say, you're good, I'm good. We're not good for each other. It is what it is. Let's go our separate ways and be friends, be cordial. And that's that, and it really is kind of a sickness that I think humans need, like anger and fight and violence and hate and, all the negative stuff in order to move on from things.
Yeah.
You don't have to live like that.
It's funny you say that, like, in like I have a current relationship. Both of you guys have met her, and it's the first time ever that there was like not, you know, this big like honeymoon phase, like so in love and everything. But we
Have
work
grown
mesh
together.
well, so like we mesh so well together that it's like, okay, well, we build, and people always like they're like, well, and even I said, well, what's like, you know, big thing that is like one of the, not the main factor, but like, what do you, for me, and I'm not ready to have a kid right now, but I go like, when I think like ahead in the future, I'm like, this is probably out of like any of my relationships that I had, you know, if I was to have a child with this person, and then, you know, 10 years, 15 years after that, like we were at a complete change of like our mentality and we just weren't working out, we would still be able to make this work in a nice way, in a healthy way for child. And like for me, that's like was a cool thing to kind of to realize and evaluate. That doesn't like sometimes
It doesn't need
like,
to burn down in flames.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's been a lot of my past.
Yeah.
Like very exciting.
It's a lot of most people's past. I mean, again, like things kind of, and you start to look for reasons to burn things down in flames, which is self-destructive.
Yeah.
And very interesting how the human psyche works in that
I
regard.
mean, dude, and like it's kind of like how all three of us, I mean, you guys are talking to each other every day, but like we've all played together and we're like best of friends. And when we're together, we just pick right back up. Well, we could not talk to each other for a year and still like then pick right back up. And I think that's, you know, that's telling, that's good, and that's healthy. As far as like how like the relationships, romantic or non-romantic, should be, you know, finding people like that.
Well, you got to let things breathe as well. You know, everybody's trying to suffocate everything and be all over it. And just a nice relaxed breath approach is always a good way to approach things, man, because you're going to have clarity, balance. And if there's obviously glaring defects or something that's going wrong, approach those as necessary. But for the most part, you know, everybody out in the world, we're all trying to make it, man. Everyone's fighting their own battles, and there needs to be more care for that in the world as well, because it's not an easy place. This is not an easy experience. And I really, as I drive around and walk around and travel and meet people, that's one of the most important things that I try to do is like just take the extra breath and give gifts, whether it's holding a door open or a smile or a kind set of words. Like everywhere, if we could just start giving gifts, they don't have to be physical ones. You know, they can be, like I said, words or gestures or these gifts, a smile, simple things. It's groundbreaking for us as a people, because we really need to turn this idea that we have where, you know, it's like this dog eat dog world. And I understand business is business, and that's real too. I'm not dumb to these things, but we also have to know that long tail, we might be eating ourselves alive. You know what I mean? So we have to make sure that we create the best energies on the paintball field with our communities, for our teams, and off of it. And things don't always have to burn, you know, and there are pathways, and it's good. It's healthy to have differences and to have these things happen. The universe is perfect, man. It doesn't miss. It's on beat. It's on its tune. It's doing what it's going to do. And it has the master plan. So you have to kind of just, like I said, take that breath and roll with it, roll with everything. So kind of as a lighthearted thing, what was one of the funnier or, you know, like a fun behind the scenes time that you had when you were with Diesel? Because you had a great group of players and just a good crew of people. There has to be some funny times. Come on. Like, I don't know, practices.
Yeah, but funny too. I don't know, because it can kind of get inappropriate.
No. Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah. Where it's yeah.
But just like, you know,
or not safe to say on that show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough because there's so many.
Like going to the home field practices, duking it out with the local squads, or, you know, there was definitely great moments as well. And I love what you said. You know, like I said before, I'm super excited to watch you just play paintball, because the growth that you're going to have from all these experiences is going to be tremendous for you. And I know who you are. I've played paintball on the same team with you for a long time. We're all Dynasty alumni here. We played for Dynasty for a long time. And yeah, dude, I'm excited to see that. And kind of just want to make sure that the energy for you, because I care about you, one of my best friends, is moving in the right direction as well. Limitless possibility ahead for you, and just doing what I know you can do, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have prepped me before I thought of.
Oh, for the funny story?
Good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There wasn't anything that's like, it like comes to mind that's like the best story that I would have to tell you. But obviously, and I think that you guys really enjoy this, like when you get like a house at World Cup is always
Yeah.
Like, the hotels are nice, but like when you all stay together, that is, or like because
It's a rager.
like, you're immersed with them, with everyone there, and so
Yeah.
I feel like probably some of those, like I think some of the guys pranked Mouse a couple of times, which I'm like, dude, you guys are bold to prank Mouse, because you know it's gonna really piss him off, like mess with his bathroom.
Oh no, don't do that.
And then like hide in his room and like scare him when he comes. Like, so those are.
What bathroom trick did they do? Please don't tell me this
just like
that.
No, maybe just like using the bathroom and then leaving it in there.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm like, dude.
That'll get you every time. Oh no.
Dude, I just saw this thing, this news article. God, where was it? Is it Scotland? I think it's Scotland.
Oh, the golf.
The golf. This guy since 2005 has been randomly pooping in holes on the golf course, like where the tee.
Oh, I did see that too.
Like they can't find this guy, but he like does like the same like 4 or 5 holes every few months or whatever, and he's been doing it for 20 years.
It's like what's happened the WNBA.
What?
With the
dude, that's insane that they're throwing dildos on the court.
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness. What's crazy is that you could bet on it. So why wouldn't you just put all your money on it and then go throw that color dildo on the court?
Shit.
Oh yeah, true.
Like, I mean, right? Like, why would you?
That's a genius idea.
It seems.
I need to look up some tickets.
I mean, people have to be doing that. I don't know. Like, people have to be doing that. But I think the only way you can get it, you have to sneak it in. So, you know, there's a price. There's a price to pay. You gotta. You gotta sneak it in.
Can you believe security is like high alert?
Like, I hope kids aren't listening to this part. But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is funny. And dude, that whoever that is out on those golf courses, that's a monster, bro. What is happening out there?
They do that at night.
Yeah, he like goes up and disconnects. He like disconnects the floodlights and then goes on the course.
Oh,
that's crazy.
He's a mastermind.
Oh man.
I was gonna ask you too, real quick, just a question. So are you guys, have you hung it up, like retired from summer camp, or did you feel like, dang, I missed that, I should have went? Or
I feel like missed out, dude. It hurt. I missed being there. It is fun.
Yeah, summer camp's one of the best. I'm not totally sure, to be honest, Kyle. I don't know. I don't know my plans moving forward entirely. So yeah, not sure. But I definitely felt like I missed out. Summer camp's amazing. Anthony and Lori are some of the best. Anthony has obviously asked me to, like, you know, you're gonna come next year. I'm like, I'm really not sure yet. I'm gonna get through this season and go from there. But yeah, summer camp's one of the best events. Like it's so cool, so fun. You know, it really is. It's a lot of work. It really is. It's a lot of work. But it's good work, and it is fun. And every time that I've left, I just feel like my cup is really full, you know, and there's a lot of memories created and relationships built. So we'll see.
Yeah, it can be difficult there. And then I always like that too, because then I come home, I'm like, I slept on a cot. There's bugs all the time. Like, you have 1 hour to yourself, which is like between 10 and 11 while you fall asleep on your cot. But other than that,
yeah, you're locked in. You know, you're playing paintball all day and hanging out with the community, which is the most rewarding, because pick another sport. There's just very few, if any, where you can hang out with the sharpest minds in the game, some of the most successful players to ever play that sport, and be able to just hang out and have a meal together as well. You know, Carmen, shout out to Carmen and Lori and Ant and everything that they do for so many people, because it is a really, really special experience. And I know we've said it before, but it's not just a camp for kids, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
All ages are there, and it's a really, really good experience. I know every time I walk away, I got a couple mosquito bites, but damn, my cup is full too. You know what I mean? And I'm having fun.
Oh, you guys you would have loved it too, because Ryan got
I
stung
heard about
by
that. That's crazy.
the wood or the ground hornets or whatever they are.
And then he started blasting them, which is not the move. You need to get away, run away.
Him and Harrison were in the same bunker, and Harrison's like playing out left, and he just sees Ryan going, and then he just starts shooting the ground, and Harrison's like, looks down, he's like, "You're not supposed to do that." And then and he's getting stung too. Like, that's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
And I was just like, watching that in the woods. Like, I stopped playing. I'm like, wow,
yeah.
That would make me never want to come back into the woods again.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I don't love the woods. Like I don't like
too many hazards out there.
Too many hazards. So many hazards.
It's so fun though.
Ticks are a big one. Ticks are like the biggest one.
You got to make sure to check yourself over when you get out of the thick. Get out of there.
And then here's a funny story. Lori told Ryan that he should put because it'll soothe it, beef tallow on his hornet thing. So he rubbed beef tallow all over his ankles and wrists. And then so when he got in his cot next to the netting,
he got bit by ants.
Just a bunch of insects were trying to come lick his feet all night.
No way, dude. Oh,
that's genius. I hope Lori did that on purpose. That's genius.
Lori.
Just wake up with insects all.
What's funny is he tagged me in something Sunday morning, and it was like, you know, Marcelo's not here, so that's, you know, we already won as far as like the tournament goes. And he was like making this whole video. I was like, dude, you look like you didn't sleep at all. But I didn't know that he got stung by a bunch of bees and was on a bunch of Benadryl, but his eyes were all puffy. Like he looked horrible.
Man.
I was like, oh man.
I like that.
Summer camp's kicking your butt.
Funny. He's like, everyone's going down. Marcelo isn't here. He's still going down.
Did Nick win again?
He did.
Yeah, Nick, let's go, baby. Beast mode.
So I think me and Nick are the only summer camp winners ever.
Damn.
Didn't Kyle Berry win?
He got second. He got to the finals, I think. And he lost to Nick.
Because I've won, because I've won 5 and Nick has won 2.
Yep, it's fun out there. We get to build your own team at the very end, and all the campers they battle it out in a tournament. A lot of fun.
Yeah. So Kyle, let's talk a little bit more about building a team. This is something that I'm really intrigued in, and I think this is part of. And again, I think there's a lot of rosters out there that are constructed the wrong way, and I do think that Diesel was one of those, where it was the wrong fit of players. And I think part of being a really good coach or even general manager, whatever you want to call it, is getting the right styles of players together. If you could construct like your perfect team, you got 5 players. Let's make 6. So you got 1 bench player as well. What things would you be looking for in those 6 players?
So I'd say it's like, for my, I'm trying to think of like how to kind of like what traits. Obviously, like we can just.
You might need like 7 to have depth. To have depth of like different versatility. So let's do 7.
So like
I think this is an important conversation.
In my 2 or 3 attackers, I'm looking for like complete resilience, like never getting discouraged, never like. That there will be able to like erase and reset for each point, and then just take advice, and also like just workhorses. Like they're doing all the work outside of paintball too to make sure that their bodies are in shape, and that they're like just trust that what they're going to do, like when to be a bowling ball, when just be like, you know, missile and go take bodies, even though they're going to get shot for the bigger picture, and buy in, it is huge. I'd say, and two, just overall with all people, with all the players, not feeding too much information that's not important. Like there's a lot of teams have this too, is like just bringing up conversations that it's like, it distracts everyone. It is about paintball, but it's not important, like, which pulls people away. So just like having that focus within all of the players to like, there is one goal, and let's make sure that we're efficient with our dialogue. So I'd say like, man, this conversation could have been the whole podcast, I think.
100%. Yeah. It's, like I said, I think it's, what's crazy is I know we're going to transition to guest questions after this from the Discord. And I'm actually seeing Mark Paris has like, he kind of asked this same thing. We'll get to that afterwards, but yeah, let's go through your roster construction.
So yeah, position, I guess, yeah, from that kind of sums up, like for the attackers, you know, like the 2 or 3 that, compromise it, just resilience, in really good shape, and also willing to buy in, and strong, extremely strong mindset, knowing that like, you know, they are going to get shot, and it's okay, and then just come out fresh the next point. And for, I guess, you know, the 2 positions, whether it's 2 or 3 there, that they are, there's so many ways we can go to this conversation. I guess obviously, like, those are people that, you know, I want to have played all positions everywhere on the field. Snake, Doritos, the back, front, center, everything. And also like really love the game. Like, so that in their free time, they're also interested in what's going on. And like they look at everything from like a macro standpoint, and they are like still excited about, you know, even just maybe when you're with the team and you're watching other teams play, you're like, damn, that was a really good move, which I see, like, you know, all 3 of us do it, even if we're like at a practice or see something we don't know a player, we're like, go tell them like, bro, that was, I don't know if you know, but that was some high level shit. So just catalog that for your future. Like, that was really, really good. Having that mindset in those 2s, I feel like are also like big connectors with their, you know, the whole team, as far as like the connection from the front guys, working with them and trying to help boost them and be their teachers. And then also like those guys especially need to have, you know, a direct line of communication with the coach to let them know where the flow of the game is going. And that's big too with, you know, your 3s. Like the 3 needs to, the 3, in my opinion, needs to be like someone that's can coach, but is still playing. And so that he knows how to like describe in detail and concise and efficient to the coach, to like kind of be the coach on the field and let him know where the flow of the game is going on, and give feedback, and where there's extra pressure and where there's not extra pressure, and be able to kind of like layer and describe what the players on the field, where they might not be excelling typically as they usually do. This one's just kind of tough for me because I'm like, I could go so many different ways.
100%.
Like,
no, yeah. I mean, I think you answered it very well. As far as like
the fundamentals and stuff, like,
yeah,
you know, I just feel like that's an easy way out of this conversation to say like, oh, I want the best, you know, the most fundamentally strong each position. You know, like I wanted to give a little bit more in depth,
so does every team in the league.
Exactly.
I think it's also important to consider size as well. Like I think having if I was constructing a roster, something I would be mindful of is having a 2 or a 3 that is dynamic and can attack but is tall. because on a lot of these fields, especially with the big bricks, tall players have a lot of success shooting people off the break. It's one of the reasons I think Blake is so deadly. Tyler, you also have the height to be able to get those kills on the break. Like it's a game changer to be able to have the height to be able to see over into, even on this field that we're getting ready for in France. I'm so bummed Blake was originally on the team and now he's not going to France. I'm like, oh no, that's a bummer. Who we're going to put in this spot? Because going into the snake side shooting cross, you got to like shoot over bunkers. There's good shots on the break, but you got to be tall enough to do it. So even taking that kind of stuff into account, even your attackers now, like Mouse is like the perfect height, I think, for a snake player, because he's one of the most athletic. You could argue he's the most. Well, we're going to find out between him and Keith who's faster. We're going to do a race. Yeah, we're definitely going to see. But one of the most athletic players ever, also has the height to be able to see over the bricks, the wedges, all that stuff, and it's like he's flexible enough to get down and small and be a small target in the snake. It just opens up so many more opportunities for you. Like Ty, in the Pro Tour thing, you had such a big advantage over Keith in that one-on-one, because you could tower over the Aztec, like you had just so much more to work with. Keith was very limited in what he was able to do. Yeah, well,
he was like coming out the side, and he was on the opposite side looking down over, peeking. I was like, shit, he can see me.
He can see me. Yeah, exactly. So like I think that's something that gets overlooked in paintball, is actual, like in other sports it doesn't. Point. Wide receivers, basketball player, like your height is a big part of what position you play, and if you're good enough for the pro league, all what you can do. And in paintball, we have never really considered it, but it's very important. It's actually, I think, hugely important. So,
and your 3 and 2s have to be really, now with where paintball is, like ideally, like everyone needs to be mobile on the field. Like everyone needs to be able to play almost every position.
Without a doubt.
So like that guy Paya, do you remember him from the ML Kings, dude? Yeah, I wish he would have had like more time. Just even maybe with another pro team too.
Yeah.
In the
he's
States,
playing still.
Really?
Yeah, he's back playing with the King.
Nice.
Or are they called the Kings still? They're not the Kings anymore. No, it's Gladiatori, Slava's team over in Europe.
Talk about
nasty.
Oh my God. Some of the things that guy would do, I'm like, what the heck? That's crazy. Because he's 7 feet tall. But then he'll be in a tiny little bunker, and then he'll jump out and go on attack mode. And you're like, wow, this dude gets it. He really gets it.
100%. Kyle, okay, so Mark Paris, this question was great. And it is, Kyle, do you think the original roster when you joined Diesel was built correctly to win the right way? Or sorry, to win right away?
Yes.
If not, what pieces would you have changed? But that's not the case.
I would say, well, there was one. It just, I think that we were led incorrectly. So I guess that's the one. I guess it's kind of no, but I do think we had the right pieces to win. I think that it was more of a standpoint of just strategy and coaching, and I don't think it was the players were. I think the one was A-Rod. A-Rod might not have been a good fit, and that was right at the beginning. Not to take anything away from A-Rod, but I think that was. Yeah.
Okay. He also says Mark Johnson is taking a lot of flack for how Diesel struggled. Do you feel that flack is warranted, or should more be put on the players?
I don't think should be given any. I don't think anyone should take like more responsibility than others. I'm definitely not going to say that I think that it's all on the players. That's for sure. But I'm not going to say that it's all like Mark's responsibility and he needs to take a bunch of flack. I think that there was just a lot of like friction that wasn't just figured out. Like there wasn't resolution within the team.
Was there a point?
And that's kind of what we talked about earlier. like sometimes things don't work, you know, like
100%.
that's just sometimes how it goes.
Yeah.
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 And again, these are all from Mark Paris. Was there a point on Diesel where you knew things were not going to end on a positive note, or were you always of the mindset that the team was fixable? We kind of covered this with the Rubik's Cube thing.
Yeah.
But just to clarify and put a stamp on it for Mark Paris.
Well, there was like 2 other times, you know, in between 23-24 season, I was dealing with like kind of the same situation, or like that my, you know, time with Diesel was in jeopardy. And then later in the 2024 season as well. But the time when I like knew was after this last event, before, like a month before even that my free agency came out.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I like I said, I'm excited to see the future of the game unfold. And I want to see both camps successful wherever you land. I want to see Diesel. We need the whole circuit just booming. So I would have to assume they're probably going to pick up some local talent, or like maybe like Marcelo said, go the fit route. It works, obviously, if you can really cultivate that talent locally, have that in-house crew that can train all the time. They can get some good things rolling. Yo, Meter
would do well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Kyle, for sure.
Well, I think they will do. I think they still will do. Not like they're going to get like blown out, but definitely, you know, it's a tough time to have like the suspensions that are being.
That's going to be what hurts them the most, for sure.
Yeah. But if they didn't have that, I don't think, you know, too much changes.
Yeah, and that's just for. I still don't even know the full parameters of that. Is that just for Texas? There a couple games, or how many games?
I think 2 or 3.
Okay. You know, March?
I don't know. Confirm. No.
Okay. Yeah. We got Meter in the chat here. Shout out to Meter. He threw up the prayer hands for you. Let's go, chat.
Go. Yeah.
Yep.
Meter.
Yeah. Hey, and everybody out there, thank you so much once again for tapping in the Discord. Go over to ptgpodcast.com. Hit that orange Patreon link. Join us in the chat. It's always jumping off.
Do they
We got
get
a bunch
to watch
of chat
live, or they know that it's going on?
So I was thinking about that. I think we're going to do for the Patreon where we possibly have some perks. They can have you know, different aspects of the show that but at the moment we tell them when a guest is coming on, and they get early access to know who's coming on the show, and then they sound off in the chat. Everybody, you know, gets to have their questions and ideas and thoughts and topics all seen, and it's a cool thing. It's a lot of fun. And thank you, Meter. We just got Kyle Berry. It's spelled with an A, not an E. He's not a blueberry.
Strawberry.
But yeah, we got Kyle just hopped in there, and he dropped some crazy info for the whole chat. A bunch of details on drills, and it's just a fun space. It's a really fun space. So shout out to Meat. Thank you for being in there. We've got we got to hit Verbal with his question, and thank you, Verb, for everything that you do in the game as well all day long. Kyle, your favorite food? Yep, favorite food, favorite place to eat it. Yo, and then you got to let me know favorite SoCal burrito spot as well. What's your favorite SoCal burrito?
Well, that's Oscars for sure. You know, you both know about Oscars.
Oh yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
I know about Oscars.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if I could pick favorite
of all time.
Favorite place meal. Favorite meal is just like a really, really good like ribeye steak with just mashed potatoes, gravy, and broccoli, or like just some steamed vegetables. Like for me, that's all time. I do, you know, it's funny. I really like hibachi food, like steak and shrimp, but I don't really like the places. Like I'm kind of over the. I'm like, dude, I would think that they're like innovate. There should be some innovation in the tricks. Like
they're still doing the Mickey Mouse choo-choo train.
Yeah, we
40 years later.
We've seen the volcano and the shrimp and the hat for 15 years. Like there's got to be technology is moving on. We got to.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to invent like a new wave hibachi.
Damn.
Or it's like an AI person that comes up. It's like an AI hologram that's cooking it, doing like all types of crazy stuff.
Oh shit.
That
Okay.
is like, and also like, got. I don't really like love going to eat sushi, but Manny that works at Harney Sushi down here in Old Town, like his place has been fire lately. Has all the
yeah.
best Toro, everything. It's hard to say
Those are solid choices right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
to
those.
say we're the
Super hard
best,
to-
the best place. I mean, you guys have a favorite like best place you go to?
I mean, mine is my mom's homemade chicken noodle soup at her cabin with my mom and dad. That's all time
All
for
right.
me. Yeah. That would be, I mean, yeah, it just resonates, you know?
Just hits.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah.
Pizza for you?
Pizza for sure. Pizza. What's so funny too is I didn't even really like pizza before I got into the business. Now I love it. One of the locations is opened in San Diego. We should go.
Really?
Go have
There
some.
we go.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Little Italy.
All right.
Yeah.
Dan,
Go,
that's the spot right there.
go-
Everybody go check that out.
Nice. All right, we got Daniel Walbert. Kyle, what part of Tiger Wear is more fun for you? The creative aspect or building the business? What have you learned throughout the whole process over the years?
That I'm really good at the creative stuff. The business part, I need help with. Please, you want to give me some free help? That is definitely the part that I do not like. Like, I over here, I like to have photos that need to get taken, and like just there's inventory everywhere of the house. The shipping orders and like this stuff.
Oh yeah, that
is definitely take some energy out of me. I would like to solely focus. The design part is by far like what really I'm hungry to do and what drives me. It's just tough to do.
I got an idea. You just sell the company to Balenciaga and go on board as a creative. You know what I mean? Or one of these top tier fashion brands. Be like, yo, I got that fire right here. Let me sell this to you, and then I'll help you with all the creatives. And that's your wheelhouse too, man. Is like all that creative fun stuff.
For sure. And I want like it's not so much like, you know, anyone can do any design and just put it on clothes. It's more so like building I don't know, I hate using that cliche word like lifestyle, but like in a sense the vibe, like I want to through the brand like invoke emotion. Like when I want to make stuff that as you're combining music and videos,
art,
and just meaningful moments that you guys don't know, because when you watch something like it's a really cool video, like damn, that was fucking really cool, that was powerful, and that's like the stuff that I want to make.
Yeah, no, it's art, man. Nice, it really is art that you wear around. All right, let's see. Rounder, this is a kind of hard-hitting question. Kyle, which past team do you regret the most leaving? I would say, which past team did you enjoy playing for the most? Either way, tomato. But
well, that's an easy one. Go ahead.
Sorry, your jersey number, does it have significance? He wants to know.
Yeah. All right. That's an easy one. It's Dynasty. It's always been Dynasty. Like for me, if like, I don't know, I didn't have like I come from a lot of money. Like I always just from the beginning, even when I was like home living, just me and my mom, like always was kind of a little bit of a struggle. So to get an opportunity to start doing all these other things, like with coaching and being able to focus on paintball and doing a podcast, I'm very thankful for where I've been able to like reap some of the benefits. So I can do all these other things, especially like, you know, with Tiger Wear as well. But
there's absolutely no shame in the fact that you made a living for yourself with the skills and your entire life work. You dedicated so much to this sport. So there should be there's no shame in that, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dynasty's that definitely that team. And then 85, like it was for Ocho Cinco, which is funny that we had that at Cincinnati. But I just like growing up, it was cool to me, and I like that through any sport that like you can go like that was a player that was elite, but like always was having fun.
Yeah.
You know, it was like always like light and could like bring and like cheer other people up. And like I think that I haven't even ever really like thought too much because I picked that a very long time ago. But now as I reflect on it, I think that that's kind of like how I look at it. It's like you obviously you want to be serious about your craft, but also like keeping it, keeping it light and making sure that other people are like having a good time around you. That not to take away from like your confidence or your like your mindset to like I'm going to win this match, but I'm going to make it fun while I do it. And that's kind of something I've always liked.
Shout out to Ocho.
Yeah.
Big shout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
When did you pick that jersey number?
Dude, that had to have been 2009. 2008.
Yeah. Because when we joined forces on Dynasty, you were already 8'5".
Yeah. I was 8'5" from even like when I was on semi-pro aftermath, and then Ironman when I first went pro.
Yep.
One year I did change it to when I was on Ironman. I changed it to 5, just kind of as like
short.
Hey, respects Short retired.
Yep, that's right. I remember that.
Love that.
Yeah, big shout to Short Dog, still the illest to ever do it. The best, I mean, untouchable. They got in his prime, and some of those events you would watch Brandon Short and just like, this is unreal what this player's doing.
And he's still crushing it. This guy I saw him put some on the story. He ran 100 miles this past week.
Yeah, Short Dog. Let's go. Yeah, he's going for it.
He's got mustache, is full.
Let's go, Shorty.
Shredded, probably better shape than he's ever been.
Yeah, he's crushing. Absolutely. All right, we got CM Harry. You answered the first portion of that question. He wants to know next big thing for cooking up with Tiger Wear.
Well, we are planning to do World Cup. Have a booth at World Cup. That's a pretty big thing.
Damn. Okay.
And then
there you go.
It just like scaling everything, trying to get it into other stores. There's a lot of people that have been asking for it. I just haven't had like the scalability to get there. So that is kind of like the main thing, and also trying to like get some of these processes down, like so that I can go back to kind of just the design work. And then getting more like media output, and then also doing some stuff and integrating more like videos and music into the brand as well. So it's literally just trying to optimize everything. But I always am going to have new stuff for sure.
Well, what you're talking about, scaling into stores, that's where you're going to blow up. It takes a team. It really does, man. You can only do so much, you know what I mean? Unless you're working 16 hours a day. And sometimes that's just what it takes for the first, couple years until you have your system in place. But it's definitely a lot of work, what you're talking about doing, scaling that. But that is the evolution, is getting into the stores, giving the customers what they want. You have great style, great quality, all the things that make a great brand. And not only you struggle with this, we struggle with it. There's so many thousands of people listening to this that have ideas and struggle with this. What would be your advice to take that next leap and be able to scale?
I think that you have to be okay with trying stuff and expecting that you're going to fail, because you learn from that. And something, a big comfort that I've had to get over is like allowing people to help you. Like, cause like people do, this is like, as for you guys too, like play the games like your baby, your child. So when like to give like someone reign to like go out and be like an ambassador
Of course.
or run your booth while you're gone or something. You're like, well, are you gonna say something that's gonna to someone that's gonna like really hurt or tarnish, our business? But I think being okay with that, you need to kind of do some trial and error. And probably the biggest thing is that like, if you just keep spending more and more and more time on it, like no matter, you're going to have ups and you have hard times. And like, if you just, even if you like slow down a little bit, if you just keep staying on it just a tiny bit, even if it's like a little bit, making sure that you're putting some thought and effort into it every day, it will continue on and you will have that. And I think that's where a lot of people fail. Like, be okay, like being you're gonna have to have your life and other things kind of like seem extremely hard or be worse than maybe they were before you started doing it, and be okay to like be in that space for a little bit, because it will pay off. And you can always go back to the outside, but it's like you already know how to do all that. And like, I don't know, for me, and I'm in that space right now where everything is very difficult. So, but I know on the outside, like it is going to get there. So I can't really say for sure, because it hasn't happened yet. But I'm pretty positive it will. And that's the only outcome that is in my mind. So
that's great advice.
Roll with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta ride the highs and the lows, and you just don't quit. Don't quit, and have the big vision and just strive for greatness. It's not easy, what you're doing. Being a creative is not easy, but everyone appreciates it so much, and that's why we have a really cool community of paintball players that are giving so much to the game right now.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, my brother, this was a great one. It's nice to have you on this side of the mic, to where you get to, talk, and we can kind of go in depth on stuff.
Of course.
But it was a great episode, man. Really, really fun conversation.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Can't wait to see you throw that jersey on. We kind of alluded to, we know what's going on. Come on. We know what's popping up.
There'll be a decision this week.
Yep. Everybody stay tuned. I would imagine you'll hear more news on Tuesday.
4 p.m. somewhere.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. All right, brother. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. We should do this more. This was fun. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Always to come on.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Love you guys.
You want to let people know where the Tiger Wear, where they can tap in before we sign out?
Tigerwear.co.
Okay.
And then obviously follow the socials, Instagram. We make cool shit. And,
there we go.
We care about making you look good, feel good, play good.
Yeah.
All of it. So.
Yeah. Let's go.
On and off the field.
That's it. You gotta have that confidence. And thanks for stopping by, Kyle.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Of course, brother.
Peace.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to the show. We appreciate your support more than you know. As you guys heard about midway through the episode, if you guys would like to support PTG in any way, you could head over to ptgpaintball.com. You could click the orange Patreon link and sign up at any level and get access to our Discord. The Discord is one of the most phenomenal communities in the game of paintball. We have so many different channels in there. It's great for learning. It's great for connecting, finding teams, selling equipment, whatever it is you want to do in there. We truly have it all, and we hope to see you in there. So again, head over to ptgpaintball.com, click the orange Patreon link, and we will see you in there.